We have a liftoff.
Cierra la cortina. Métete.
No, yo me meto para allá.
Pero va.
Hoy. Hoy. Estamos limpios, vente. Bien pilas, Molino, bien pilas. Ahí te vienen para unos carrillos por ahí no alcanzan a divisar por la negrita. Aquí lo estamos divisando. Cuéntalo, a ver cuántos son. Unos carrillos por ahí no alcanzan a divisar por la negrita. Aquí lo estamos divisando. Cuéntalo, a ver cuántos son.
Now, that gunfire you guys just heard was actually an execution going on. What was actually happening is Comandante Pezon, who was a leader in the Gulf Cartel, was gunned down in Tamaulipas. It was an execution, all right? Now, neighbors in the neighborhoods of Camargo, Miguel Alemán, the ones who heard it the most, it was going off. Now, during this firefight, the actual Comandante Pezon, leader of the Gulf Cartel in Tamaulipas, was knocked down, and this is confirmed by the Secretary of Public Safety. This actually happened in the neighborhood La Ribereña, and the first people to call it in were actually people who lived around the area right in front of it. The police didn't actually let out so far the information of how many bodies, but it's openly being investigated right now. And this supposedly is due to an internal cleansing of the Gulf cartels inside the metros. So I always tell you guys, it's always more common for you to die at the hands of your friends, right? Well, the people you work with, friendlies, than it is to die at the hands of your enemy. A lot of people can't understand that unless maybe they were an organized crime in the United States, because, even people in the Italian mafia will tell you, if they ever ask somebody to kill you, it's usually your best friend. Dark, isn't it? But that's what dark organized crime is. It's dark and it's evil. Now, with all that being said, Comandante Pezon went by the code Metro 12. And we gotta remember, he's actually part of a group which is kind of a armed wing inside the Gulf cartel, kind of like what the Zetas was, I guess, at one time, which is the Metros, and that's why it's code Metro 12. He'd actually been in this position since July 2019, when, funny name, when Gordo Sexy, not even kidding, Fat and Sexy, was murdered. And he was actually head of the finances that were going on in Tamaulipas and along that front, the fronteriza, the border area. But he was also knocked down due to a friendly, due to internal beef, ended up, causing his death as well. Now, right now, what's going on is another group called Los Ciclones, another actual faction of said group, said cartel, fighting right now. And what's interesting about Pezon is there's also a rumor going around that he was chopped into little pieces. We'll see how true that is. I'm pretty sure we can, put our minds behind the fact that these people are more than capable enough of doing it. And let's not put it past them. And it definitely sounds like something they would do. But to the Attorney General's office of Tamaulipas doesn't want to release any information. Last that I checked with Comandante Pezon. But right now, there's people that just remember not too long ago on the 27th that there was a very heavy firefight that went down. And people aren't going to forget this level of violence that's been going on this year. As far as Tamaulipas, it's always been a pretty violent city as far as recent times with this war on drugs, but more so this last year, it's been really kicking off, almost reminiscent of the time when the old school Zetas were around, and they recently split off from the Golf Cartel. For those of you who don't know, that's where the Zetas came from, is the Golf Cartel. Now, at the beginnings of this month, Leno Vega was also killed by an internal dispute inside the Golf Cartel. He was also known as El Comandante Leño and was actually from Guerrero, but was working under the orders of Cesar Morfin, El Primito, the actual but the actual cartel leader of the Metros as a whole. Now, people say that a Flaco Sierra and El Pezon were the actual ones who tried to take over the plaza of La Ribereña, which is made of several municipalities on what they call the small border of Tamaulipas. Now, right now, obviously, if they were doing that, it would be because they were trying to take control of the group from El Primito, who's actually supposedly not not even in Tamaulipas. He's hiding somewhere. But when cat's away, the mice will play, and that's what it looks like happening here. They tried to pull a power move, and it ended up not turning out too well for them. With the death of Alfredo Hernandez Campos, if you guys remember this, I reported on not too long ago, also known as Comandante Calamardo, the Fiscalia, or the Attorney General's Office of Tamaulipas, confirmed his death on the 3rd of September. And that happened in the municipality of Camargo. After forensic analysis, they were able to confirm his identity. You guys can understand why. Sometimes they do horrible things to the body that we can't really say here on YouTube, but use your imagination. And it is what it is, you guys. He was also just previously, right before that, and I put a video up of it, he was rescued by people from the Ministerial Police of Reynosa, and that doesn't mean they, I guess they rescued him just to kill him, right? At the end of the day. Because Hernandez Campos was Plaza Boss of La Ribereña, and Comandante Calamardo, or M27, was rolling together with a group of his gunmen shortly after his rescue, if you want to call it that, when they got in a shootout with another faction of the Gulf Cartel directly under the command of El Primito. Now, this supposedly was for the death or for the murder of Comandante Leño, the one I was just telling you guys about, so you guys can actually understand this beef, how it went back and forth, and how this internal limpia or cleansing, as they call it, is going on inside their group. It's since the 19th of June when members of the Scorpions and the Ciclones actually went into neighborhoods in Reynosa to actually kill 15 people. And this act of narco-terrorism was, with the intent to calentar la plaza to the metros, the group that we're speaking on. Calentar la plaza is like, let's say, you have the plaza, right? You have control of everything that's criminal going on, let's say in Dallas, Texas, okay? I'm going to go to Dallas, Texas. This is all hypothetical, what happened, like here, and kill 15 people because that's what happened. They killed 15 people in Reynosa, it says. Well, I'm going to go to Reynosa or Dallas or wherever, kill 15 people just to bring a lot of federal and government heat down on you. So you can't do business anymore. You're not going to be able to sell dope. They're going to put checkpoints up everywhere. They're going to make your life a living hell because of all these murders. In fact, they'll probably blame you or at least heavily investigate you because of that. That's what Calientando la Plaza is, and that's one of the ways they do it. Sometimes, if they're smart, they'll kill their enemies wherever they are in their plaza, and they'll just go throw them in their enemy's plaza. Just go throw a bunch of bodies out there, right? That's another way to do it. But sometimes they're just evil, like these ones, and they went and killed 15 innocent people who had absolutely nothing to do with anything. And that disgusts me more than anything as a journalist. It's one of the things I really hate to talk about and read about. And on a daily basis, I'm constantly looking for things to bring to you guys and talking to people, and it's a shame when it's innocent people, but that's what we focus on at this channel. At the end of the day, that is the main purpose of this channel, is to expose the violence that's brought against innocent people, especially women and children, but men included, because they can be innocent too. Edgar Vallardes Hernandez and Maestrin was actually the one who ordered those 15 people to be murdered. He was the boss, jefe of the Ciclones, and he got his karma on the 26th of July when another cell of the Gulf Cartel identified is the SCXIX group, Scorpion, got rid of him. And there's actually supposedly a peace that's been signed between various groups of the Gulf Cartel, but obviously this didn't work because they're still killing each other, and I don't see any end in sight to it. So, crazy world we live in. Make sure you smash on that like button, everybody. Leave a comment down below. That's what helps this get recommended, get out there. I hope each and every one of you have a superb day. My tongue's been twisted all morning, my bad. I hope you guys got through the whole video with my tongue ties. I did my best. Adios, amigos. Hasta la próxima. Se le vale, mi compa.